Wow, thanks, Larry. With regard to that train, I hope you've got Danica Patrick or Vin Diesel out there because I'm not sure you're going to make it. I do want to just say, I've been in a bunch of ballrooms and basement conference rooms before, but I'm not sure I've ever felt as much sunshine come through in one room before. And so if you guys don't mind, I just want to bask in the sunshine here for a second and, I don't know, maybe get a tan. That was really great stuff, and it's not, it's really great, and we know that we have the support of the administration, but to get such a great kickoff today to get started is really fantastic. So I'm your improbable host for the second year, and as a first item, I want to recognize the attendance of some very important people, our XM board nominees, Chairman-to-be Kimberly Reed, Judith Pryor, and Congressman Spencer Bachus. If you don't mind, could you please stand up? Thank you. Kimberly, I can't wait for you to be in this role next year. And for all of you who feel the same, let's raise a hand. Yeah, not too many, but yeah. As Ambassador Garish mentioned, Peter Navarro is going to speak to us at lunch and discuss the great economic results of the President agenda and follow on about the important role of XM. And getting started with Larry Kudlow and then getting the support of Peter Navarro, that's feeling pretty good right now. But as everyone knows, this is a reauthorization year for the bank, and our reauthorization journey starts in the House of Representatives. The good news is that we expect to have bipartisan supporters with us today. The bad news is we don't know exactly when. So we're going to start juggling a bit given the House schedule, and we're hoping that Congressman Emanuel Cleaver can still join us this morning. After lunch, we're on a little bit more solid footing. The chair of the House Financial Services, Maxine Waters, will share her legislative priorities for the bank. And following the chair, two of our most vocal advocates, Congressman Denny Heck and Frank Lucas, will speak about the importance of restoring XM. As your host, I really want to accomplish three things. One, now I'm going to keep it shorter. Recognize the efforts of our team at XM who are making the bank better every day. I want to provide a high-level framework of XM's nexus with economic and national security. And I want to let everyone know, and we now know, XM is coming back as a key piece of the Trump agenda. So in recent years, our team has faced many challenges. Fortunately, we have an incredible team of people at XM who are advancing its mission. And I want to recognize that. Despite the lack of quorum, the team continues to provide world-class support to small and medium businesses. Our medium-term financing increased by 45% in fiscal year 18. Our short-term insurance shipments increased to $2 billion in 2018. We've completed nearly $1 billion of financing support for minority and women-owned businesses over the last 2 years. We executed an innovative $1 billion reinsurance program, and our prudent financial management enabled XM to stay open during the entire government shutdown. Thanks again to a great team. You're doing a great job. Thanks very much. So now let me turn to the important issues of global competition in the context of export trade finance that our conference will address. I'm excited about exploring the intersection of XM and national security over the next 2 days, and let me get that discussion started. As you heard, XM is an arrow in the quiver of the US government in protecting economic security. The bank can advance American capitalism versus state-sponsored industry and provide financing necessary and world-class infrastructure for power projects, including nuclear and other needed infrastructure projects across the globe. The XM of the future is is more than just growing American jobs. The XM of tomorrow is also a valuable tool of economic statecraft. To paraphrase Dr. Navarro, XM can defend critical industry sectors from the predatory behaviors of non-market economies. Let's face it, the export financing world is hyper-competitive. In this real-world contest of state-managed enterprises versus free markets, countries are using every tool available to achieve their strategic goals. The ascendance of China is at the forefront of this global change as they pursue the Belt and Road Initiative and Made in China 2025. And export trade finance has become a bit of a free-for-all in response. Fewer countries than ever follow traditional trade rules. Take the OECD. Even among its own members, only about 50% of total OECD trade financing happens within OECD guidelines. Just 50%. And the OECD play by the rules financing is now only about 25% of all global trade finance. Meanwhile, the growth in the number of ECAs and the overall level of trade credit finance indicate that export credit, it's an effective tool that promotes national economic interests. Every country seems to have at least one. To highlight this point, let's take a quick look at my one and only chart this year. Countries are committing more capital to their ECAs and creatively expanding their financing solutions. This chart compares total ECA exposures against country GDP. I think it's a great measure of a country's view of the risks and rewards of aggressive export promotion. The most obvious highlight is the estimated level of Chinese ECA exposure. Check out the far right of the graph. Approximately 550 billion, or almost 5% of Chinese GDP is dedicated for export financing. To me, though, the discussion about ECA financing and national economic competition, you also have to include the upper left part of the chart. If you can see that tiny little dot in the upper left, that's Finland, and that dot represents the size of their economy. But to protect industries such as shipbuilding, telecom, and other national industries, Finland, and you can see Korea, they're far out there on the risk-return equation, over 9% of their GDP for ECAs. Where's the US? At 60 billion of current exposures, we lag behind Japan, Germany, Canada, France, and with all due respect, Italy. The graph also shows that many countries with 3 to 4% of GDP in their current ECA exposures. If I could just apply that 3% average and use that for XM, our exposures would total about 600 billion. Okay, just saying, I'm not allowed to have that position right now. But clearly, there's room for the US to improve its export posture. And as we survey the real world, our eyes need to be wide open regarding the varied and dynamic use of ECA financing for competitive advantage. As you heard, XM and its mission are right in the middle of the fairway of the President's agenda on jobs and putting America first. XM fits perfectly with the administration's view that economic security equals national security. And we can serve as a counterweight to the growing influence of China, as several panels will discuss. You can look forward to great speakers, panelists, and true trade experts. They're going to spark ideas about the current global landscape and the appropriate roles for XM. I know you will enjoy these discussions. Thank you, and let's all join together to get our nominees approved soon. Thanks.